Hey Andy, this is a practice. What do you think?
I think we should practice making love to each other real quick. Hey-o!
It is a lot easier to look straight into the camera here
It
than
is,
it
it
is
is, yeah.
like looking up or looking down.
And now, like, we
or
really don't
whatever.
need to, like, our necks farther when we're looking at each other. Just do a little
Right.
ooh,
Or I
ooh.
just don't look at you at all.
Hurtful.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just getting used to looking straight into the Logie.
Yeah. It's weird. I want to look at the monitor camera, but I have.
That's
like,
what I
the
was
Logie.
doing last time,
Me
and I'm
too,
really
yeah.
trying not to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. This is Andrew from Cromulent Comics, and this is my co-host.
I'm Andy, who works with Cromulent Comics.
And welcome to episode 1. This is our first full episode of Cromcast.
Cromcast.
Cromulent Comics presents Cromcast. If you Google Cromcast, you mostly just get, do you mean Chromecast?
Or Comcast.
Or
the owner of-
Comcast. Yeah, we're working out the logistics of the title here. There's also a Conan the Barbarian podcast called Cromcast.
Really?
Because that was like their god's name was
But yeah,
Crom.
but is it spelled K-R or is it C-R?
And CR.
Really? I thought it was
Yeah.
K-R.
No,
Oh.
we're already copyright infringement here.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Maybe we can do a podcast together. Ours is technically called Cromulent Comics Presents Cromcast.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a mouthful.
With Andrew and Andy.
A squared.
We're not doing A squared.
But A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I had a kid. I'm a teacher. For all of you who don't know, I'm not going to say where because that's too much. But one of my kids was like, Mr. Sweet, what's A squared but plus B squared plus C squared? I'm like, listen, you can barely do a basic addition. We are not doing A squared plus B squared. Yeah, that. Silent. He's pondering a lot right now.
It would be D squared.
Why D squared? Or A squared.
Oh my god. No, I'm saying the answer to the question. Okay, real quick.
Hypotenuse.
Why don't we go over some new books that are coming out this week, right?
Yeah, sure.
That sounds fun. You want to go first?
Sure. So one of the things that I'm really excited for is Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2. I really love the first series. In the first series, what happened was the monsters from the Godzilla legendary movies came over to the DC world. But now the premise is Amanda Waller is okay to stop these monsters from ever coming over here again. How about we go over to their world and kill them? So she sends a all new Suicide Squad in, and they turn them into kaijus. And it's just them, like the Suicide Squad against the kaijus, and then the Justice League going over there to stop whatever the Suicide Squad is doing. And I'm actually really excited for this. Like the first series was such a, I'd say it's a sleeper hit almost because
it was pretty big.
It was big, but
they're doing a sequel.
They are doing a sequel, but I feel like not enough people are talking about it. Like it is today, as when it first came out. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also just excited for all the new Godzilla content coming out. There's so much. Like DC is doing their whole Godzilla event. Marvel's doing their one shots, like X-Men versus
a 5-issue series.
And a 5-issue series.
I just put my orders in for that. So we are getting Godzilla versus the Marvel Universe, which I'm really excited about.
And even IDW is doing their whole new relaunch of Godzilla, which is basically their version of Absolute or Ultimate Godzilla. So there's a lot of good Godzilla stuff. And one of the things I'm curious about, what are you most excited for, Andrew?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we've already had Godzilla versus Great Gatsby, so I don't know what could possibly top that.
That was the that movie, Monster, whatever. The one by Tom Scioli, right?
Yeah, it's really good. It was really good. I would say the one I'm most excited for is maybe the Marvel Universe one, which is surprising because I'm more of a DC guy. But I think the Marvel Universe one just seems really fun. It's more on par with the Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong because it's everyone involved.
Yeah,
and it will have a little room to breathe, unlike the single issues. But the single ones have been really good.
But from what I've been told is that all the single ones, everything is in continuity. Like each one is all in the same continuity as the Godzilla versus the Marvel Universe one.
Oh, I had no idea.
That's what I've been told. I
don't think so.
If I'm wrong,
yeah, we'll find out.
Wrong, but I'm pretty sure the events from the Spider-Man one are happening.
Oh, okay.
Because there's some Venom. Did you read the Spider-Man one?
I did, yeah.
So the stuff that happened with Venom, apparently it's also, there's some stuff happening with Venom in the Marvel Universe one. So I think it's spitting out of all of them. If I'm wrong, I apologize.
Yeah, write to us in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Be
one
like, Andy, you dummy. They're different universes, you dummy. That's what you guys are gonna write.
Dang.
Yeah.
I will say though, the one I'm actually really excited for the Godzilla IDW relaunch, mainly because Tim Seeley's writing it, and just from
That's cool.
the arts from that they've leaked is very like
Who's doing the art? Do you know?
his name is Nikola Zimnik. If
Beautiful. That's a
I
beautiful name.
but
What's the country of origin on that?
no, but he did. So the guy did a lot of the fill-in art during Batman and Robin when Joshua Williamson was running it, when Simone DeMeo wasn't.
Yes.
So that's where I know the
Oh,
art.
cool.
So
Yeah, that's good.
it's
That's good
very
art.
vibrant, very exciting, and just the whole redesign of Godzilla is very interesting. Where he's green, he's more green.
Yeah, Godzilla should be green.
Yeah, but like now,
70s Marvel Godzilla.
so he's gray, but his spikes are green. So when he does his atomic blast,
Okay.
it's green.
Okay, that's cool.
That's what I'm
I like
excited
that.
for. And then it's like a whole universe. So they're doing like a Godzilla, they're doing a Mecha Godzilla series where
cool.
Mecha Godzilla is a starship going through the universe.
All right.
And there's another one where a bunch of humans turn into Godzilla mutants, and it's basically like a post-apocalyptic Godzilla kind of thing. So that whole universe and all that stuff is very exciting for me because we're both big Godzilla fans.
Yeah, I honestly did not know anything about this, so this is actually pretty exciting. Yeah, I love Godzilla. Is there any word on when we're getting a King Caesar spin-off series?
You mean the worst kaiju?
All right, let's move on to the next category because no, but that actually sounds really fun. But I do love King Caesar.
I like Violante.
Violante is cool and all, but
King Caesar.
King Caesar. Okay, so that's great. That's a great first recommendation. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2,
Electric Boogaloo,
which is out this Wednesday. I've got a couple of things real quick. I'm just going to speed through mine.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I give you permission on your own podcast to do this.
Thank you. Okay, so up first, we've got the DC Pride special. DC does this every year, and it's always a lot of fun. So this comes out this Wednesday. They're also starting to do a bunch of Pride variants throughout the month as well. We'll be doing some Pride events here at Cromulent Comics throughout the month, including something called a Rainbow Sale, which is coming out later. And then at the end of the month, we've got Guido Sanchez coming here for a signing of Queer Mythology, which I'm really excited about.
Tune into Instagram and Facebook when we get more information about that and when we can give it to you, the audience.
Well, that will be the end of the month, June 28th, but I do actually already know that. So
dang it.
And yeah, but we will make more announcements about everything else. Another thing I really want to just kind of make shout out to is Adventure Time. We're getting issues 1, 2, and 3 into the store this Wednesday. Issues 1 and 2 will be a special discount price of $2 a book. So they usually go for around $4.99. So that's $3 off. So again, we're selling issues 1 and 2 for $2 a pop, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's Adventure Time. Come on, grab your friends and buy this book.
Yeah, make some bacon pancakes. You want to go with your next book?
I'll go with my next book. This is a very anticipated book for a lot of people. It's Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. Andrew, do you want to talk about this one a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I got a chance to read this already. I absolutely loved it. I love Ultimate Spider-Man. I think Ultimate Spider-Man is one of the best books ever, maybe. It's that good.
It's one of the best books on the rack, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a perfect Spider-Man book. It hits every classic Spider-Man trope, but gives it new light. Jonathan Hickman has been knocking out Ultimate Spider-Man. So I was a little nervous at first because he's not writing this, but it is two very good writers. It's Dennis Camp and Cody Ziegler.
Yeah. So if you don't know, Cody Ziegler is the current writer on the Miles Morales series, which I've been loving, and Dennis Camp's the one who's been writing Ultimate's a part of the Ultimate line. So it's two veterans and
I've been
two
loving.
people who have been writing these characters for a while. So I wasn't so worried about it, but I could see it because Spider-Man's finally out of Hickman's hands.
Yeah.
So to see what someone else would do with those characters, I can kind of see where you're coming from.
Yeah, but I think Dennis Camp is I consider him like second in command of the Ultimate universe, because Ultimates is kind of the linchpin of what is actually driving the entire story forward. I think that this was an absolute blast to read. It's a flip on the head from the old Spider-Men crossover of the Ultimate Universe, whereas this time Miles is the more experienced Spider-Man and Peter is not. And then we've also got a third Spider-Man, but he might not be going by Spider-Man anymore, which is Richard Parker.
Yes, we don't want to spoil anything, but what they decide to give his code name in this issue,
it's apt.
It's It's
Yeah.
appropriate. It's
Yeah.
appropriate.
So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy how it's going to play into the larger picture
Mhm.
of the Ultimate Universe and how it's going to affect Spidey and really kind of bring him front and center. And it
Exactly.
also feels like it's going to bring in characters that haven't interacted yet,
Mhm.
such as Black Panther, and it might even bring in the X-Men,
That's what
which
I'm
I think is
excited
really
for.
fun.
It's the first instance of the whole other books in the line kind of coming together and doing something.
So if you're reading any Ultimate books, I would highly suggest
Yeah,
picking
and if
this
you
up.
haven't read any of them yet, the second trade of Ultimate X-Men just came out last week, and Cromulent has in stock almost all of the trades of the first few arcs for the Ultimate Universe.
Yep.
So if you are confused on anything that's going on, come here, buy the trades, and catch up on some great stories.
Yeah, they're really good, and we're constantly trying to keep those in stock.
They're
Um,
flying off the shelves.
I wouldn't say. Oh, maybe they are. Okay, what else you got?
One of the things that we both love is the Absolute line, and out next week are the two new installments of the Absolute universe. First one we're going to talk about is Absolute Superman issue 8. And this is a brand new story arc coming off after issue 7. We got some revelations on almost an Ultimate Absolute Brainiac, and in issue 6 we figured out who is in charge of the whole Lazarus program
Mm-hmm.
initiative. So it's kind of setting up, okay, where is this whole thing going forward? How these stories interconnect,
Yep.
and where does it go from there? I'm loving what they're doing with the series. Jason Aaron is firing on all cylinders. Rafa Sandoval's art is exquisite. There's no other way to say it. And it's if you need to catch up or just looking to start reading it now, this is start a new story arc, and it's going to be very new reader friendly for the most part. It will catch you up on some things, but if you want to start in on issue 8, I think this is a great place to start.
Yeah, I think it's really good. You want to go with your next one?
Yeah, and then finally, continuing off for the Absolute Universe, Absolute Green Lantern. This one I've been liking. It's a slow burn. It is a very slow burn, and I'm still not sure where the story is going, but I'm intrigued. Like they finally introduced pretty much all of the human Green Lanterns for the most part. We know what's going on with Hal, Joe, John, Guy, and I think I think there's a little teaser on Alan Scott in here I saw too, but I could be wrong.
All I see is that there's a teaser for a character named the Blue Devil, who I absolutely love. The Blue Devil.
He's great.
I think I'm in finally.
One of the
That's all you got to do. You just got to throw Blue Devil into anything, and I'm there.
So I like how it's more of like an existential sci-fi horror kind of thing.
It's the way I've been describing it to everyone is it's written like a horror manga book.
Yes,
and that's
yes.
exactly what it is, and that's why I'm having a tough time with this one over all the Absolute books. It hasn't quite clicked yet, but I'm hoping. So the Flash really clicked with me at issue 3, so
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that this is the one. Plus, it's got Blue Devil in it, so this is probably the one. I'm a simple-minded person.
For me, it's a lot like horror movies where people are trapped in a small town, isolated, like The Mist.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
What's the one with the dome?
With the dome?
Is that just what it's called?
I don't know. Oh, the Simpsons movie.
Great movie, by the way.
There we go. It's like the Simpsons.
It's like the Simpsons movie.
Absolute Green Lantern is like the Simpsons movie. That sounds good. Nice. Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah. So next 2 books, I'm gonna go through 2 books real quick.
Go for it.
We've got Little Mouse Saves the Day. This is a book by Jeff Smith. This is an all ages children's book. I absolutely adore Jeff Smith's artwork, and he is probably one of the greatest cartoonists of our time. If you definitely know his art, you definitely know his stuff. If you did Bone.
If you go to any Scholastic book fair in the past 10 to 20 years, you've seen Bone. You know what his art looks like.
Yeah,
Bone.
Growing up, Bone was not a Scholastic book for me.
Really?
So Bone was something you had to go and find. Because Scholastic, they were the first ones to do Bone in color. So I read Bone in black and white originally.
So that's how
I'm old. So I love it. I absolutely love Bone. I loved Rassel. Rassel was really good. I have that both in hardcover and paperbacks
what
as well.
What was his Shazam series called?
The Monster
Society of Evil?
Society of Evil. Yeah, it's really good.
I like that one too.
I really like the way he does Mary Marvel and that.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, this is absolutely beautiful and a really fun little easy to read book for new readers of comics. So I think this is really fun, and we need more books like this in the shops. Please support Jeff Smith on that one. Next book I'm going to give a shout out to is the graphic novel of G.I. Joe Volume 1. If you know anything about the shop and books I've been pushing the Absolute Universe, I've been pushing the Ultimate Universe, and I've been pushing the Energon Universe. I think this is one of the best books out on the stands. It's consistently fun. It's Joshua Williamson, who is a personal favorite of both of ours.
Definitely.
It is Tom Riley on art. It's absolutely beautiful. The thing I love about this is I've always loved the Joes, but I think the villains have always been my favorite part of the Joes. So having Baroness on the team just makes this book even better.
And one of the
I
things,
absolutely love it.
one of the things that Cromulent did do, this book actually has 2 covers. The trade has 2 covers.
Yeah.
It's over there. You should have grabbed it ahead of time.
Yep.
But there's a G.I. Joe cover, and then there's a Cobra cover. And
They do connect.
They do connect. So if you're crazy enough to buy 2, hang them up together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go with my next one, and then you go with yours, and
Okay.
then that'll kind of lead us into our main topic discussion.
Let's go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
So also coming out this week, as you know, DC's been doing compact comics, and Marvel has also been doing compact books. Theirs are called the Marvel Premiere Collection. This week comes out the Fantastic Four Solve Everything by Jonathan Hickman and various artists. You've got Dave Eaglesham, Neil Edwards, and Steve Epting on here. That's a murder's row. So what I like about this is taking all of Hickman's run of Fantastic Four and essentially condensing it into one volume. It's cutting out a couple issues here and there, but Hickman is the one editing it. So he's making an effort to make sure that this is all readable and easy. This essentially brings you up to where this essentially brings you up to Future Foundation. So this stops right before Hickman begins the Future Foundation. If you know what that means, then I think you have an idea of where this book ends. And it is extremely, extremely well done. This is maybe, I mean, I love the Fantastic Four, and there are few writers that I think come close to Hickman. My favorite runs of the Fantastic Four have always been Lee and Kirby, have always been Byrne, have always been Wade and Wieringo is what got me hooked on the Fantastic Four as a kid. This is in line with that as some of the best writings of these characters, and it's a perfect time to check it out and read it, especially with the first steps coming out. This really kind of builds into the science fiction fantasy, but also really relies on the family aspect of the Fantastic Four, which are the best runs of Fantastic Four.
Honestly, this was the run that got me into the Fantastic Four. I always knew who they were. I always appreciated them, but I never really took a liking to them. I think it was finally you were like, you got to read this stuff. And then I finally bought the trades. I'm like, oh, this is really good. Because we're all, as much of Fantastic Four fans we are, we're also big Hickman fans.
Yep.
So a lot of you may have heard of the event Secret Wars 2015. This is pretty much necessary material if you want to get into that. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, Hickman went on to write Avengers and then write Secret Wars, and also he did Shield, which was not the Shield that you're mostly.
Was that the one from the medieval times?
Yeah, and he's done a lot of really great books for Marvel, and they all interconnect. And then he did X-Men, and now he's doing something else, which kind of spins off from that. If you want to talk about our next book,
bring it up.
Comes out tomorrow, Wednesday.
Imperial. This is the big summer event for Marvel.
I would say it's just the big event for Marvel this year in general. So. Hickman kind of brings another level when it comes to writing events, I think, for Marvel. So think of like when House of X and Powers of X came out and how much that affected the entire line of X-Men.
Would you say it's the start of a new initiative?
I would say so, but we don't really know what's coming out of this. They've been really hush-hush about what this book is and what's coming out of it. And if you kind of want to go into it a little.
So without spoilers, basically, it starts off, there have been some murders in the galaxy, and a bunch of like the major galactic empires, major galactic empires in the Marvel cosmology are meeting up together to figure out what happened. And
Eminem appears.
The Eminem does appear. And basically they're figuring out what happened, teaming up. And if you're a Planet Hulk friend, if you're Planet Hulk fans, there's
if you're a friend of Planet Hulk,
I hate you so much. So if you're a fan of Planet Hulk, Hulk comes back to Sakaar and does stuff with that. If you're a fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics, Star-Lord's home, I forget what it's called, but his father Jason's in there. Jason.
Not Ego.
Yeah, so in the comics, it is not Ego, the living planet, who's Star-Lord's father. It's some asshole named Jason or Jason.
Yep.
But there's also the Scree and Krul, the Scree and this. Oh my God, the Kree and Skrull empires in it too, and
Shi'ar?
the Shi'ar Empire, and pretty much all like the main.
If you like space whales that you can ride around in, you are gonna love Imperial.
Space whales?
Oh my God. You know nothing about Marvel Cosmic? My word. That's how the Shi'ar fly around in giant space whales.
I don't remember.
There's literally a giant space whale in here.
I don't like the Shi'ar. I'm not an X-Man guy.
Giant space whale.
That is a giant space whale.
Thank you.
We're not going to scroll the
Appreciate
yards.
that.
If you want
But
to
there
see
is a giant space
Yes.
whale in here.
So what I like about this is I'm a big Marvel cosmology fan. Ever since the days of
Cosmology?
Cosmology?
Isn't that like makeup?
Cosmic?
He's a fan of Marvel Cosmic comics.
Yes, and I do love everyone's hair. Thor's hair?
That's not cosmology. What?
Cosmetology.
Right, but what's cosmology? I've never even heard that word. Is that a word? Strike in on the comments. Let us know. Is cosmology a word?
Or should we trademark that word?
Oh,
Ooh,
cromology.
Doesn't roll off the tongue. So, I hate you. I've always been a big fan of Marvel cosmology. I'm sticking with it. Trademark, patent, whatever. And ever since Annihilation, Annihilation Conquest, War of Kings, and pretty much the early 2000s Marvel space stuff like Nova, Guardians of the Galaxy. And this just feels like a good, I would say a love letter to it because it's very different, but
feels like an evolution of all that stuff. It feels like the
Yeah.
next step because I think a lot of the Marvel Cosmic stuff kind of needs a shot in the arm.
yeah,
And that's what Hickman's kind of doing
there
here.
haven't been really a lot of stuff lately because
They've tried a few different things here and there, but nothing has really kind of stuck.
the last thing that really happened with Marvel Cosmic is when Bendis was in charge of it all and he was in charge of Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, didn't Cates do
Donny
a bunch
Cates
of
of Guardians of the Galaxy, and Thor was a cosmic book,
and Silver Surfer Black,
and Venom. So I guess since Donny Cates has left Marvel, there hasn't really been a big push for Marvel Cosmic. But I will say, if this is like the new initiative or the new where it's going forward from this, I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited as well. I'm not the biggest cosmic Marvel guy. I love Silver Surfer, but that's about it.
I love the Kirby stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but that's 60 years old at this point.
Yeah.
So I haven't really cared much about the cosmic stuff. I mean, I like the Inhumans, and I like the stuff from like the 60s and the early 70s, but that's about it.
Yeah.
This is getting me really excited just because, again, it's Hickman, so I know I'm in for a good ride. It's not super, super long, which is nice.
6-7 issues?
6 or 7.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is really going to be something really exciting and really fun that everyone kind of jump in on. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Speaking of Hickman, let's kind of go into it. I think in just general, like, Hickman is one of our favorite writers.
Oh, definitely.
Do you have any specific Hickman books that you absolutely love?
Absolutely love. We talked about Fantastic Four, which, as we said, is again the Marvel premiere.
Yep.
That's the thing, though. Like, I love what he did with X-Men, and I love everything he does. But Hickman is one of those writers who plays the long game. He sprinkles in seeds from early in his, even stuff from early in his writing stuff at Marvel. It all ties back. So if you read his entire, what's the word I'm looking for?
Discography?
Bibliography? Yeah, we'll go with bibliography. His entire bibliography of Marvel, he takes pieces from everything he has written. So if you read everything that he started from S.H.I.E.L.D., which I think was like his first big thing at Marvel, not big.
It was like his first larger project. Do you know how he writes?
I know he has like a gigantic whiteboard and just, is that what it is?
He does bar graphs.
What do you mean by bar graphs?
I don't understand it to the life of me. He does a lot of, so Hickman is originally like a graphic designer, which is why a lot of his books have portions in it that usually have charts or...
Are there any charts in here?
I don't know if there was a chart in this one.
But if you read anything from House of X or any of his X-Men stuff,
anything like that,
you will see the charts.
You'll see charts, you'll see diagrams, you'll see graphs, you'll see things that kind of explain how things are interconnected. And that's essentially how he typically writes his books. I remember seeing once his Fantastic Four, and it's laid out on a floor. And it's just different bar graphs about where things would occur, how they would occur, and when they would occur. And it was such a bizarre way of writing, but there is no script when it comes to writing comics, like no format.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, pretty much.
And he just takes complete advantage of it, and it's absolutely incredible the stuff that he can do.
I also
Yeah,
heard a rumor that he has a room where every wall has a gigantic like full size whiteboard, and he just the entire walls of the room
maybe that's what he does
is just
now.
whiteboards.
Yeah,
That's what I heard. I
yeah,
could be wrong.
could be wrong, could be right.
Probably wrong.
But yeah, I absolutely adore everything that I've read by him. For indie stuff, like I absolutely love East of West.
East of West is great.
East of West is a book that I just could not put
Mhm.
down. It's a whole universe building thing.
He loves to build universes.
Yeah, and it's like a post-apocalyptic America where the four horsemen of the apocalypse are reincarnated as little children, and they're gonna bring forth the end of the world.
Yeah.
And it's really, really well done. And I want someone to adapt that into either a movie or animation.
Did you read Manhattan Projects? That was
I
a fun
started it. I really need to finish
It was
that.
fun. It's basically.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain it?
No, you go.
So Manhattan Projects is basically what if was it Albert Einstein, right?
Yeah.
But what if Albert Einstein had an evil, crazy twin brother who murders him and takes over his spot in the Manhattan Project and then just do a bunch of batshit crazy inventions and
Yep.
all of that stuff. I read the first arc of it. I really liked it. And that's
Yeah.
what I have to go back to. So he loves world building and these crazy concepts. Like if you're on Substack, I would highly recommend checking out. I'm gonna fucking murder you. His 3 Worlds, 3 Moons stuff, which is basically him and a bunch of other writers and even the people who are subscribed to it making all. I'm gonna slap you. Ugh. Basically, they're creating their own universe from scratch and going over, okay, what are the deities like? What are the planets like? And basically, they're creating a whole universe together from the ground up. And they're just writing about this universe and coming up as a giant, like I guess a high or a brain trust coming up with the entire logistics of this universe
That's on a Substack.
on a Substack.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So I would look up that if you're interested in Substack or being part of a community like that.
Yeah.
But also speaking of communities, we have a
Oh,
Discord.
yes, we do. Our Discord did finally launch. We will be sending out actually, you know what? The link will be in the description of this video below. The Discord is now going to be open to everyone.
Okay.
So originally we were only going to do it as Cromulent community. However, it is open to everyone. But if you are a Cromulent community member, which is someone that pays the $10 monthly subscription here at Cromulent Comics, and you get your discount, you get your raffles, you get your coupon codes, you get your monthly giveaway with the Cromulent Comic Club. You will also get access to private Discord channels that are in our open Discord.
Yeah.
So just giving you a heads up as well. Those are our VIP channels to our Cromulent community members. But yeah, we launched our Discord like 2 days ago, which is really exciting. And then we've got the podcast going, so that's also really exciting. And yeah, we've got a lot of really fun, cool things that are happening here at the store. And we're really trying to build a community that we want you to be involved with and to talk to us and yeah, kind of give us feedback. What kind of episodes do you want to see? What kind of creators, if you want us to get on the podcast to talk to?
And what kind of topics do you want to talk about? Or if there's a specific book we don't mention or you think we should look into and read, give us recommendations
100%.
too.
Yeah. I mean, we'll totally read people's recommendations on the podcast, you know, what you guys are into, what you're looking forward to. And yeah, maybe that'll help us kind of expand our minds.
Exactly.
But yeah, overall, we really appreciate you listening and giving us a like and subscribe and bell and all that jam. How about you?
I'm sorry. As soon as you said jam, I was thinking of a PBJ.
Yeah.
That's where my mind went.
That's where his mind goes. Yeah. Crust?
Oh, yeah, I do like the crust.
You're a big man now. I'm
yeah.
really proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really proud.
I don't like Uncrustables.
I've never had those because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm kidding. They do look actually pretty good, though.
They're fine, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I like the crust. I like the extra texture.
I love crust.
Oh, yeah.
Now, weigh in the comments. Crust, no crust? We freaking love crust here.
Well, what kind of jelly? I know people who love grape jelly, and I know people like strawberry jelly more. What's your favorite jelly on PB&J?
On a PB&J,
PB&J.
I think I prefer strawberry.
I think so too. Yeah.
I will eat a grape
same
PB&J,
here.
but I like strawberry more. I like a little bit of a kick, a little tart.
It does, yeah.
I need a little tart to go with that sweet.
Yeah.
You're sweet.
That is my last name.
And I'm a tart.
Sweet tart? I don't
that's
like
pretty
those.
good.
I don't like.
You don't
those,
like
though.
sweet
I'm a
tarts?
big sweet tart guy.
I don't know. What are we even doing this for?
I like chocolate.
But we're not talking about
I
chocolate.
know, but I don't like sweet tarts. I'd rather eat a chocolate than a sweet tart.
But okay. Andy, what are you up to this weekend?
What am I up to this
3
weekend?
words or less.
Nothing. Broken rib.
That's perfect. That's
Yeah,
all we
I
needed to know.
broke my rib last weekend. So
Again, 3 words or less. Why
Okay.
are you explaining it?
elaboration.
I said 3 words or less.
Yeah, but I want people to be invested in my life.
No, I said, what are you doing this weekend? 3 words or less. And then you go off on a whole monologue
Fine,
about breaking your rib.
Fine. Nothing. Broken rib. Boom.
Thank you.
Andrew, 3 words or less.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful weekend or week or whatever. We look forward to seeing you here at the Cromulent Comics store. This is Cromcast signing out. I'm Andrew.
I'm Andy. We're A squared. See you next time.
No.